Alright, you guys. It's Friday, and I'm going somewhere right now that I do not want to go. It's probably the last place in the whole entire world I would want to go right now. And this is the video you guys have been waiting for. This is the video where I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to me after Mama tried about a month ago. I'm gonna tell you right after I go to this place where I don't want to go. Give me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons. Good morning, guys. I'm sheri.koepsel, beautifulmuscle.com, and I'm finally going to tell the goddamn story that I've been talking about all this time. So this happened like, I think it was like February 15th. I remember it was right after Valentine's Day. The whole preceding week, I don't know if I had PMS or what it was, but I remember I was crabby. The weather was shitty. It was super, super cold. And even though, like, I had been talking about going to Mama Tried for, like, 6 months, or, like, even the whole year with my friend Shane, I just suddenly was just like, I don't even care if I go anymore. Like, I just, that week I just started to get this blah feeling, like, maybe I shouldn't even go. Then, the day before, Shane says that he tried to buy tickets online on Ticketmaster or whatever, and for some reason it wouldn't take his credit card, so he couldn't get the tickets. And because we had waited so long, our tickets were going to be $90. Okay, so let me just tell you that last time I went, I believe we paid $12 to go to this thing. So all of a sudden the tickets were $90 fucking for flat track motorbike racing. Really? So he says, hey, can you get tickets? When I saw they were $90, this was my second sign. I was like, nope, I will never pay $90 to go to this. I don't think it's worth it. And then he said, nope, I'll pay. Just put it on your card. I'll give you cash. We all know how that usually goes. And that's exactly how it went. But anyways, so like the day of, like, all these just dumb things are happening that day, I just didn't want to go. The weather, like 8 degrees or something like that. Really windy and really stupid. So we end up going because I didn't want to ditch Shane again, because I had ditched out on him last minute last year for this thing. And we went together 2 years ago, and we thought we had so much fun, and we thought it was great and all this stuff. So I didn't want to ditch him again, and I just went ahead and bought the tickets and said, fuck it, let's go. Because a lot of times, sometimes when I don't want to do something and I make myself go, those are like my most fun nights for some reason. So that's what was in my head, and I was like, okay, let's just go, it'll be fun. So Shane lives in Madison, and he was coming here and getting a hotel. Of course he comes, and I end up like meeting up with my friend Tracy ahead of time and her friends, and I'm at her house, and he is telling me that he can't check into his hotel because of this problem that he had with Ticketmaster. Oh, and let me just say that when I got on Ticketmaster, I had 1,000 million issues also. Like, for some reason, that website is just a bitch, and it wasn't like letting you buy. I don't remember exactly all the issues, but I had issues too. Thankfully, it did not freeze my credit card and not allow me to buy things. But apparently, when he went to check into his hotel, they did not let him check in, because he only had one credit card, and it was fucked for some reason because of the Ticketmaster thing. And so he's texting me back and forth. I'm with Tracy and her friends. We go to the Harley Museum to start off, to have a drink or whatever, and just all these text messages from Shane, like, he can't even get an Uber because of his credit card. And I was just like, oh man, this night is not getting off to a great start. So we end up meeting up with Shane. We all separate. We go sit. We have a few drinks. Shane is buying me drinks all night. I mean, maybe it wasn't like a great full bar of whatever you wanted to drink. They only have like certain things. And I probably had maybe 3 drinks there. I don't really recall, but nothing excessive. Because I wasn't really liking what I was drinking. So over the course of like 3 hours or whatever this thing is, I had maybe 3 drinks. And then afterwards, we call an Uber because my car is over in Bayview by Tracy's house. So we end up having to stand outside and wait for this Uber for a good 30 minutes in the freezing. I'm talking like 8 degrees, if that. Windy, horrifying weather. So literally, I'm straight up sober by this time that we get our Uber. So we go to get my car. And at this point, I was so cold and I just wanted to go home. I was crabby. Nothing was really working out. But then Shane had come from Madison and he didn't want to go home right away. He doesn't have a hotel anymore. So he wanted to go out somewhere, and we go to this bar called Blackbird in Bayview. And we have 1 drink, which I do not even remember. I don't even think I finished it. I started getting text messages regarding my ex-boyfriend Rick, and then I start texting him, and he starts texting me. So I'm a little discombobulated as I'm talking to him via text. So I end up taking Shane back to his car. Didn't even finish my drink. Take Shane back to his car, and I drive home. Guess who gets pulled over 1 minute from their house? And guess who got a DUI that night? I know I should have probably just Ubered home instead of getting my car at Tracy's, but since I had to stand outside and wait for that Uber for so long, and it was freezing, and I felt stone cold sober. Totally sober. And just crabby and not wanting to be there. All I wanted to do was get home. So Mama got a DUI, and that's the story. I was so pissed. And the sheriff that pulled me over couldn't have been a bigger cocksucker. Excuse my language, but he was an asshole. He was just so like no personality, like no giveaway whatsoever. And he takes me to the sheriff intake area, which is by the airport, which is right by my house. I'm told afterwards that I should have been booked and released from this sheriff intake area. But this sheriff decides he's going to also take me downtown Milwaukee to the downtown Milwaukee jail and book me down there. Turns out he's got a little girlfriend he flirts with down there. So he's talking to this girl while I'm getting checked in and whatnot. Like, if he can buy her a sandwich, and if he bought her a sandwich, what would she want on it, or whatever. I'm not sure if it was a sandwich or coffee they were talking about. What kind of coffee do you want? Like, this kind of like back and forth nerdy conversation between 2 nerds. Ugh. I was so like pissed and agitated and irritated. I talked to a number of police officer friends of mine after this, who all were in agreement that this sheriff did not need to put me through that ridiculous drama and take me downtown Milwaukee, where I ended up having to sit for 8 hours. I had somebody, I called my dad, and he was able to come pick me up. But of course, I ended up sitting there while I get processed, while I get fingerprinted, mugshots taken, all this bullshit. 8 hours I'm sitting down there with like the scuzziest people you could imagine. Like this other chick comes in, like they bring her in, and she's swearing and threatening to kick everybody's ass in the holding cell or whatever. It was a bunch of drama and a bunch of nonsense. And it was just pointless, and I did not even have to go through it. Thanks, Mr. Sheriff Officer, whose name I won't even say. But I was wishing, I did go to my court date. He gave me a speeding ticket also, which I know I wasn't speeding. And I asked him if he could show me on his little speedometer dealio or whatever they clock you with. I said, show me that I was speeding, because I'm sure I was not speeding. I'm not going to speed on the freeway after I've had a few drinks. And I was coming home at 11:30. It wasn't like I was coming home at bar time or anything like that. It was 11:30. He never showed me that he clocked me at whatever speed he said I was coming at. Anyways, but so I got my speeding ticket dropped in my court date, and I still had to pay almost $800. Now I have a 6-month suspension on my license. I did get an occupational license. And now I got a threatening letter the other day that I have to hurry up and get scheduled for my goddamn alcohol assessment class within 7 days or I'm in non-compliance. Really? I've already just paid $800. I went through this DMV nonsense getting my occupational license. Blah, blah, blah. I've already jumped through these hoops, but ooh, you better get scheduled for your alcohol class within 7 days. Ugh, I'm just sick to my stomach even talking about it. I mean, obviously I realize I'm in the wrong here, but that whole fiasco didn't have to go down the way it went down. Ugh. I'm just so pissed about it, you guys. And of course now I have the suspension of my license all through the whole summer. Good going, Sherry. Good going. Oh, I would just like to interject here that I only blew a .10, so that was barely over the limit. Just wanted to add that little bit in here. This is what I was going to say too about my court date. I was wishing that the officer, the Mr. Sheriff, policeman, jerk face, idiot, I wish he would show up there, just because I would have felt satisfaction if I could have just given him the evil eye. Or if I could have just went up to him and said, you didn't need to fucking take me downtown and get me booked there, you asshole. That's just all I wanted to say to him, and that I would have been happy. But of course he wasn't at my court date. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna end this here because it's already almost 12 minutes. I'm gonna end this here, and this is a vlog in itself, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you learned a lesson. Don't drive drunk, because they will get you, and DUIs are no fun. Alright, you guys. Thank you for watching.